You're so weird. You're insane. Hey everyone, welcome back to Glitz and Glitter. I have an interesting tutorial for you today. And there's a few out there, I think, that shows you how to do this, but I don't know. I just felt like I needed to show you guys, for all of you who maybe can't afford the stainless steel tumblers, or, you know, you're just not on your budget, but you want to try them. You guys can do a plastic cup. Yes, it can be done. This is a cup that we got at a garage sale. The maker of this cup is in my local town, so I don't know if you guys even have them, but these are pretty popular here in Southwest Florida. They're called Tervis tumblers, and you can actually bring this cup back to the company and they'll trade it out for you for any of them, and they have all different designs. But instead of taking this back to them, because we are not really sports fans, so when nobody ever uses this cup in my house, so I decided I'm going to show you that you can epoxy over a plastic cup. So if you want to just practice doing tumblers before you go investing in all the stainless steel and all the fancy stuff, get a plastic cup out of your cupboard and give it a try. So before I do anything to it, I'm going to take a little piece of sandpaper and I'm just going to scuff it up a little bit, because this plastic is, you know, shiny, and it will probably create fish eyes if you don't do that. So I'm just going to go up to this lip right here, because I'm going to tape this lip off, because I want the epoxy to have something to hang on to on this one. So we're just going to get it just sanded down. You don't have to go crazy. You're just going to scuff it up. I have all kinds of plastic cups in my cabinet that I mean to do, but now I have a reason to do them, since a lot of you are thinking about doing tumblers now. And these actually they don't come with lids, but you could buy lids for these. I do have tons of lids because we have a lot of these. Like I said, they make these in our town. So it's just the thing that us Floridians have. Everybody knows who they are. There's a price tag on here. Let me get that off. I'm just gonna wash it down with a little bit of alcohol to get all that dust off and that price tag off. And then we will get it taped up, and I will take it outside to spray paint it. So I'm sure you all know how to spray paint, so you guys can handle that. Now this particular one I'm going to do is going to be a swirl design on alcohol ink, but because you will still be able to see this on the inside, like I said, this is just for me. You can use any plastic cup, it doesn't have to have something in there. So I'm going to paint mine black today, and we will be dropping alcohol inks on this one, and we're going to give you a cool swirl design. And I think I'm going to do beachy colors. I was going to do blues, but then I got to thinking, oh, everybody loves the beach around here. I'm just going to do some beachy colors and work my way up, which I'll explain as I get to that section. So I'm just going to tape up right there to there's a line so the spray paint doesn't get on there, and then take this tape off once we have it spray painted how we want it. I'm just going to fold that in so it stays in place, because I will be putting my tumbler arm on this, so I have something to hold while I'm spray painting it. That way I don't get spray paint all over my hands. That one is up just a little further than I want it to be. There we go. So this one should be fun. I do have a couple more in my cabinet that I've done a long time ago, and I can go grab one of them and show you that it is completely possible. And really, any kind of tumbler. You don't have to do this kind of design. You could do any design you want. Okay, so this is my arm for my tumbler. I'm just going to stick this in here now. That way I can hold it here. And I will be using Rust-Oleum black, and this is black matte. And I will be right back once it's sprayed. So I spray painted it black. It's on the turner drying right now, which it looks like it's drying really quickly, but I wanted to show you some I have done in the past real quick. This is the same kind of cup. As you can see inside, there is a patch of a turtle. And this one, the reason I covered this one is it had gotten all scratched up on the outside. So I put glitter on it. I did a peekaboo method on this one. And then I outlined the under glitter from the over glitter with this silver tape, and I put some washi tape around the top. So that was one I did prior me being on YouTube. And this one as well. This one I bought from the Dollar Tree. It's just this, the only reason the lid doesn't match it, but that's okay because it's not going anywhere. It's just a little plastic tumbler I bought for $1 to see if I could do it. And on this one, I did the tack it method for this glitter. So I got this glitter laying down. I put my decal on there and went over it. And that is that one. And it is perfect. It worked just fine. So again, these two are plastic, as you can hear. They are not metal tumblers. So let's get started on this one that we're starting today. Now before we get started, I just want to show you, you are going to want to press this tumbler holder, I don't know what you call it, the insert, down below the rim. Well, I can't get this one down any further because this is a tapered tumbler, but it is below the rim. So if you do get drips in here, this will not get adhered to your cup, and then you'd have to start cutting away at your foam or whatever piece you're working on. So you're just going to want to get that set and take the tape off before we start, because you want the resin to be able to seal around that paint. And the colors I'm going to be using for my beach scene, and you choose whatever colors that you want. You could do one color, the whole rainbow, it doesn't matter. So on the bottom I'm going to be doing gold for the beach part, and then I will be going from blue-green to turquoise. So gold, blue, green, turquoise. And then once you have your colors on, you're going to need a white alcohol ink. We're going to be dripping this on top of the colors. In case you're wondering, how the heck are you going to see colors on black? Trust me, you're going to see colors on black. In any other situation, this size cup, I would say no more than 10 milliliters to cover a cup in. However, because we need it to be swirling, I have 30 milliliters. I may not use it all, but you want a nice, good, thick coat around this tumbler so it has time to spin and move the whole time. And we're going to add a heat gun to it. So the other thing I don't recommend with this technique is don't use fast curing resin. Use normal resin, because you don't want it to cure fast. You want it to be able to move, and we're going to spin it in several directions, going back and forth so we can move it around a little bit. Okay, so I have 30 milliliters. I'm just going to get it on my cup. Like I said, very thick. Make sure your cup is level. You don't want big bubbles at the top or big bubbles at the bottom when it's spinning. So you need a level surface for your cup turner. As you can see, I'm going all the way past that black line like I told you, to seal that in. So we're just going to get this nice and heavy, get it all the way around, get it on the bottom. I do have an apron on when I'm doing my tumblers, just because you can drip on your clothing. I have messed up multiple pairs of pants that I did not want to mess up when I'm doing tumblers. As you're moving it around, it does splash sometimes. And I'm not going to use all of this, but I'd rather have more than not enough. Okay, so you just want it a nice, generous coat on here. And I don't know how many ounces this tumbler is. I don't think it says anywhere on it. I used I can't see, maybe 20 milliliters. Okay, I'm just gonna wipe my hand down and grab the heat gun, pop some bubbles. Now the longer we can keep this moving, the better. Like I said, we want these colors moving. So I'm just popping all the bubbles right now. And then we will use the heat as well when we want to help move it around a little bit. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do is I'm going to start with the bottom. Now this is a metallic gold, and metallics can tend to take over. So do be careful with metallic. I don't have like a tan color, so I won't be dripping white on this. I might, I don't know. We'll see. We'll see how I feel as I go. So make sure you get some on the bottom. And what you're going to do is just drip it where you want it. And I don't want a whole lot because this will be the beach part. Plus I know that the gold is going to move. So that's that one. And then I'm going to go in with my green, blue green. I will link everything I'm using below. And you won't see these very well, but they will be on there. So just get them all the way around your tumbler. In person, you will see them. You will kind of see where they're at. But on a camera, probably not so well. So those are the blue-green, and then I'm going to go in with turquoise. We're going to do the top. So just make sure you get as much or as little color on there that you want before we go in with the white. The white is going to bring out the colors. And then if you want more color, just add more color. No big deal. So I'm not going to go in, I think I'm going to leave the gold as it is. So I'm just going to get my white dripped all over this cup. Then you should start seeing the magic happen. And again, you can add other colors if you want. There's no rhyme or reason, there's no rules. It's however you want to do it. And then the black would be your background color. And then what you can do is turn your tumbler turner off, let it move, turn it back on, turn it off, turn it on. It's going to go both ways. I'm just going to go in with my heat gun and move it a little bit. You could push it with your heat gun if you want to. You can push up that gold, however you want to move it. It's your piece of art. Now if you heat it too long, it will get runny and drippy and start dripping off your cup. So do put paper underneath. I see there's a fisheye right there. So I'm going to kind of move it with my finger, I think. Just get that covered over. And we're going to go over this with another coat of epoxy. I think I'll probably put a decal on here so I can show you how to do that if you're new. And I think I'm going to go in with a little bit more color. Just add a little bit more in there. Get a little more vibrant. And my turquoise. Now that we can see where it's at, you can add it where you want it. And then we'll go in with a little bit more white. You can even take your finger and rub it through if you want to. I kind of like the swirl. I was going to rub it, but I think I'm going to leave it. I kind of like what's happening to it now. This is such an easy way to get a gorgeous tumbler for beginners. If you're a beginner and you haven't done it yet, this is an easy way to start your tumbler journey. Because once you start, you better have a whole lot on your hands. And again, I'm going to stop it, let it move, and then start it. You could torch it, but again, this is a plastic tumbler, so be careful. I'm going to stop it, let it go. I might put a little bit more gold on the bottom and let it kind of swirl into that green. And that's pretty much it for this part of it. We're going to just let this spin until it's cured. I will put my curing machine over it once I'm happy with the design and I don't mind speeding up the process. And a couple little tiny spots I see, which is no big deal, we will fix on the next coat. Because you're definitely going to need more than one coat to cover this. Okay guys, I will be back as soon as I have this cured. As I'm watching this spin, and you all know me because of my name says glitter, I decided I want to put some of this glitter right at the bottom to make the beach be a little more sparkly. So I figured I'd turn the camera on and show you how that got there. I can't really get it onto the bottom very good, so I'm not too worried about the bottom. And I always usually use, and I probably will use it on this one as well, is an iridescence. This one here by Resin, an iridescent glitter. And it's not really a glitter, it just gives the whole thing a really pretty sparkle to it, which I will add to this one as well once I have the decal on. So I'm going to go get on my Cricut and figure out what I'm going to put on here. I've decided to put it in the curing machine since I'm happy with the swirls, so I'm okay that it stops the design at this point. So this should take about 2 hours in the Resiners Tumbler curing machine. It's been 2 hours and my turner just shut off and it's dry and it's ready for the next stage, and I think it looks spectacular. I love it. So when I was on my Cricut, I had 2 designs I couldn't decide, so I printed them both, and I'm just gonna hold them on and see which one I like better, and I'll just save the other one for something else. So I like both of them. I like the tree in this one, but I like the font in this one. I think I'm gonna go with this one. It's a little easier to read. Whoops. So I'm going to get this on some transfer paper. Once this goes on the cup, because I'm using a decal and I don't want it to lift on my next coat of resin, I do use Quick Coat urethane sealer, and this is water-based and it dries in like 20 minutes. So we'll put this on just over the decal, and then once that's dry, I'll come back and we'll put hopefully the last coat of resin on with the little bit of sparkle in there. So I'm just gonna find which side I like, and then we'll get that on. I've got my tumbler where I want it because I didn't like this big black spot, so I'm going to cover it with this. Now on a curved surface, it can be tricky, and this one probably wouldn't be a problem, but if you have a problem, all you have to do is kind of slice right here to kind of separate it from being one big piece to 2, and then you can lay down one word at a time. So I'm just going to kind of eyeball this since it's for me, and I'll show you what I mean. So I'm just going to lift this one up so I could work on this word. Once that word's down, I'm going to put the center of this word down and then finish it off. Now this is straight out of the curing machine, so it might be a little harder to get this transfer tape up, so I'm going to grab a little knife. So I don't, I really hope I don't ruin this surface. I should have waited a little bit longer. Like, I want to push it down hard, but then I don't want the transfer tape to be pushed down hard. So you really should wait a little bit longer than I did, but it seems to be okay. So now what I'm going to do, I'm just going to wash it down with a little bit of alcohol. Not too much though, because I don't want to take the inks off. I'm going to get it back on the turner, wash this down a little bit, and get a non-lint rag. I'm going to wipe it down with a non-lint rag, and then we're going to get the urethane on. But I forgot to show you, which I really don't need one on this cup, but if you're going to put a sticker on the bottom of your cup, now would be the time to do it. And this sticker is just really washing instructions. This one, actually, I'm not going to do this one. This one's a little concave, and it can get a bubble underneath it. So I'm going to not put this sticker on this one, but now is the time. If you're going to put a sticker on your cup, now is the time to do it. So just take your urethane. If you're going to do this, you can also take a spray sealer, Mod Podge, or any kind of clear spray sealer, and just seal it in. So I'm just going to pour this on because this is what I have. Again, you don't really need gloves for this. It's not going to hurt you. And just get it all around. We're going to seal everything we've just done in. Get the bottom. And this is going to keep that decal from lifting on us when the next coat of resin is wet. So definitely get the decal. And you just need a super thin layer. You don't need anything much. Like, this is plenty for this cup. Just wash your hands and you will be ready. So I will be putting this last layer of resin on in about 20 minutes. I'll put that machine back on and we will have a tumbler done in one day. I absolutely love this machine. It's been 20 minutes and it's completely dry already. So what I'm going to do now, I'm just going to take my knife and I'm just going to cut off the extra resin that got on the top. And then for this coat, I'm going to use my Fast Set epoxy, just because it'll be done quicker. And it's a different brand, but it's okay. It'll still fit. Just make sure you clean off this surface before. Don't get any fingerprints on it. Since I'm not using my fingers, I don't have to worry. So you don't want fingerprints on a tumbler before you start putting epoxy on there. So I'm just going to get this on here. And I will get my resin mixed up. I'm going to add a little bit of this iridescence. And then we'll get it turning. You don't have a ton of working time with this Fast Set epoxy by Counterculture DIY, so you just want to get it mixed up and put on real quick as possible so it can get setting. So that's what I'm going to do. So between Fast Set and this curing machine, this thing will be done in no time. I've mixed up 15 milliliters, which I don't even know that I'll use all of it for this little cup. Just make sure you get it everywhere. Don't forget the bottom. Put a nice generous coat on, but not too much that it's dripping off. And then just get it even and let it spin. If you feel you need another coat after that, go ahead. I did put 4 drops of the iridescence in here. And that's going to give it that little sparkle. I don't know if you could see it in the camera or not, but I can see it and I love it. Just want a little bit more right there. All right, we will return when it's done. Here's a zoomed in for you so you could see that sparkle that alcohol ink does to it. That's why I love it so much. So I am so happy I did this for you guys today. I love this cup. Well, here's the finished product. I put it on the turner to dry. I went and had my nails done, came home, and it is completely finished. So this was done in about 4 hours. There's the inside. Of course, you could see the pattern. And I don't know if you could see the sparkle or not, but I just love this cup. And the glitter. There's the bottom. It's nice and smooth. I did not have to sand this cup down at all, not even once, which is unusual. So I hope you learned something. I've got a bunch of other plastic cups that I will be doing to show you some other different things. So I hope you guys have a blessed day. If you haven't yet, join my Facebook group. I would love to see everything you're making. That's the only way I can do it. So go ahead in the links below and click on that link to join the group, and I will let everybody in. And I hope to see you guys there. Until tomorrow, have a blessed day all. Bye-bye.